What's going on, Nerd Army guys? Welcome to the newest episode of Nerds Memorized. Today, guys, we are starting a brand new, fresh out the box journey. We are starting a new show from episode number 1. We are going to be starting the great Netflix series called The Last Kingdom. Now, this is an amazing story. I have seen this up to season 4, and season 5 will be coming out, so I'm going to cover that when it does come out as well. So, without further ado, guys, let's jump into how England was made right here with The Last Kingdom episode number 1. Here we go. So we begin this first episode with young Osspit. He's actually sitting on the beach with his father and some of their men, and they're all along the beach looking around what's out there, and they spot a Danish ship on the horizon. The father yells, "Vikings!" and they all take off and start booking it back to the castle. So the Vikings, we see them on their longboat coming around the bend, and it's just beautiful. Not gonna lie, I love this show because I'm both English and Viking. Viking on my father's side, English on my mother's side. So I feel that this story called to me, and seeing this longboat on the water was just amazing. They finally get back to the castle, and Osspit's father goes to his older brother Utrid and tells him to go take some men and scout the Viking ships. Just scout them, do not fight them no matter what. So he grabs some men and starts heading out to go scout the Vikings that are approaching. So the Vikings are here because they're here for the spoils. They want some amazing land, things they can grow crops on, and expand into these worlds and into these lands. So they're here for a good reason. They spot some of the scouts off the side, Utrid and the other scouts. So what do? Instead of just leaving them alone, no, they give them the old pressed ham. They pull their pants down, start mooning these motherfuckers, and it is a full moon across the boat. It is funny as hell. Utrid steps up and gets mouthy with the Vikings when they talk shit and they moon them. So he gets mouthy with these Vikings and they start to head ashore. So we get to see Osspit with a little bit of one-on-one time with Daddy, and his father's explaining to him how villages can be replaced, but soldiers can't. So we need to focus on who is the priority here. And it's kind of a dick look at it, but I guess that's how it was. So Osspit is sent down to check on Father Biaka, and I love this character right away because if you didn't recognize him right away, he's Professor Quirrell from Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Yeah, throw a turban on him, you'll recognize him right away. But besides that, we jump right back into him talking to Biaka, and he's telling him, you know what, like, this is the letter I'm writing to tell your father's allies that ye will be there to fight alongside them, and try to explain why the written word, learning to write and read, is a priority and something he needs to do, especially as a possible heir to Bebbanburg. So, I mean, it's really cool. Biaka just seems like a really cool character. I keep wanting to throw a turban on him and just Harry Potter. It's just amazing. So some Danes arrive on horseback right up to the gates, and you get to see them toss Utrid's head. So yes, young Utrid is dead. He has been killed by the Danes, and they sent a message by dropping it wearing this big badass coat. It's gangster. So Osspit is called in front of his father. His father tells him, "Your brother's dead, so you are now Utrid, son of Utrid, and you are going to need to be baptized as Utrid." So Biaka gets ready to baptize young Osspit and rename him Utrid, son of Utrid. So now he could be the heir to Bebbanburg. And I guess I understand why, but at the same time, it's fucking weird. Utrid is then left with his uncle as his dad goes to fight in the promised war that Biaka was talking about before. We get to see him getting ready to take off. He's left with his uncle. Daddy is gone. And the shitty uncle kind of meets up with the creepy fuck we saw a little earlier. And you can tell the uncle wants to run the whole show. So I'm going to keep a lookout for this guy. Utrid then gets on his horse, takes the fuck off, disobeys, and chases after his father to join his father in battle, which is awesome. And I think he's a badass for this. But then we see his uncle talk to this creepy fuck and sends him, you know what, like, if my brother dies, that kid needs to die too. So that way the throne is his. We know what you're doing, asshole. Back up. We get to see Ragnar roll up into the hall with the other Viking leaders and talk about the upcoming battle and say, we want to discuss the kings, essentially, of who they're going to be fighting. So they lay down the information, lay it out there that Utrid, the king of Bebbanburg, essentially, he is the only lord that they have that actually is a warrior and is a really good fighter. So he's the one they got to worry about. They kind of discuss this at odds with Appa and Ragnar, and it's a nice discussion, getting to see how they think and how they react to different situations. It's really cool. They did it really well. So one of the Viking kings, Appa, the big guy in charge, he asks his seer, which is his name is Story. It's a pretty cool name. But yeah, his name is Story, and he asked him, do you see anything, like any signs that would point me towards that this is a good decision, that we should attack? And he says he saw a black raven flying towards a Saxon camp, and that it's a sign that they should go through with the fight and go attack them. And that was awesome. And I love that Appa uses a seer or a sorcerer. That's just classic. So then we get to see the armies starting to arrive where they're going. They arrive at this burnt out field, and they see a big line of Vikings standing right there, shields up and everything, just hanging out, waiting for him and just whispering stuff, like basically just talking. It's creepy as fuck when they walk up, and it's like, all right, they start to get ready to battle, and it's just an ominous feeling in the fucking whole scene. It was great. So then we get to see a shield wall. This shit finally goes down. I was so excited when they did the Viking shield wall. It was so clean. It looked so good, and the Saxons had no fucking clue what to do. It was great. They charge in. They're not making any leeway. They're just fucking getting shanked. It is amazing. I about shit my fucking pants when this shit happened. I was like, yeah, shield wall. It was phenomenal. So as the shield wall starts to come in front of them, another group of Vikings come up behind them, creating another shield wall, and basically imprisoning them in these shield walls. And Utrid's down there basically about to die, like Big Papa Utrid. And he breaks through the shield wall. He gets to the other side, and it just got crazy. But ultimately, Papa Utrid does get a sword through the throat and is pretty savage. Great kill. And he goes down like a sack of rocks. This pisses off little Utrid. So little Utrid sees this shit and just fucking loses it. He's off to the side of the battlefield. He just rushes straight in, starts trying to attack him, and Ragnar just pops him right in the face, knocks him the fuck out. So then we see Utrid comes to, and Ragnar has taken him back to the Viking stronghold, and he sees people getting tortured and killed, and just watching some gruesome shit as Ragnar walks him into this hall and walks him up and sits him next to his father. So he's sitting next to Ragnar's father, and this guy is just deep, and you can just feel it right off of him the entire time. This character was so well done. He gives him the whole rundown. Basically, don't ever mess with Appa. Appa's a piece of shit. He will fucking destroy your world. Like, don't fuck with him. I get it. He explains to him that any man that takes his orders directly from the gods is unpredictable because it can go any direction. And the old man hands him some ale and tells him to drink the fuck up, and it was just a great ending to the scene. So Ragnar tells his son Ragnar's son. So he tells him that he's going to keep the boy and the girl, and they're going to join him. So that's good. I mean, at least they're not going to kill him. They are going to keep him, and cool. So Utrid is going to be staying with Ragnar as a slave. They discuss it a little bit, and he explains, like, you did kill his father, blah, blah, blah. And so it kind of cuts to Utrid out there picking up swords for them and stuff all in the battlefield. Stuff they can melt down, and he sees his dad staked up on a spike and just walks away pissed off. So some time has passed, and they are living with Ragnar. They are his slaves. They work for him. He just helps out around whatever they need him to do. And then they go play with Ragnar's daughter. Now, this little douchebag named Sven shows up, and yeah, Sven is a piece of shit, like right off the bat. So this douchebag Sven pulls a sword on Utrid. Then he goes to Tyra and he tears her dress, exposing her to everyone. And it all ends up with them about to punish Utrid for all this, and her jumping in and saying, no, Dad, this shit happened, and Utrid got involved by tackling this guy in my defense because he tore me and exposed me. So Ragnar, when he finds that shit out, snaps. Like, I feel this guy would do the same shit. So then Ragnar goes straight to this kid's house and confronts the dad, and the dad's like, come on, please, like, he's been punished. Ragnar's like, no, fuck that, bring that bitch out. And he confirms with Utrid that he only tore half of her clothes off and not all of her clothes. So Ragnar's like, okay, I'll only take one of his eyes then, and just pops his fucking eye out with the sword. It was savage. I was like, oh shit. And then banishes him and his father from the fucking land. Like a gangster. After this point, realizing that Utrid went and saved his daughter and that he's starting to love this kid like a son and he's really starting to connect with him, he is presented with a Thor's hammer, with a Mjolnir. He is given one by Ragnar, and this is just a deep, deep show of affection, because this is him presenting him to the new gods, to presenting him to their way, their religion, their lifestyle. And that's amazing. I really like that scene. It was really well done. So Sven's daddy goes and reports to Utrid's uncle that Utrid's still alive. Utrid's uncle meets with Ragnar, offers some cash for him. Not enough cash, so Appa is still trying to auction his ass off, and Ragnar's like, you know what, I'm gonna buy this kid myself. So now he's his. He is Utrid, Ragnar's son. He's been adopted by Ragnar. Ragnar paid for him instead of him being sold back to his uncle, which Bjaka did get to inform him that he would have just killed his ass as soon as he got him. So good thing, boom, Utrid stayed with Ragnar, and it's a whole new gang. So we get to see him riding on the horseback with Ragnar, and now he's his son, and he's like talking a little shit, and so Ragnar tosses him in the water. Then we get to see Utrid climb out of the water, and he's now an older guy. He's like 22. It looks like good looking cat, and just long flowing hair. Pretty dope transition from young to old. I like that. Like, I like the way they did that. It was so cool when it came through. I was like, oh, dope. First time I saw it, I was just dumbfounded. It was great. So then we see Utrid and Brita are away from the camp, and we see Sven's Poppy and Sven show up, now grown up, and they block the doors to Ragnar's hut, and they set that bitch on fire. Now, Brita and Utrid are outside of the hut right now because they were out smashing, and they saw this shit about to happen. They went to go try to warn them, didn't make it in time because they were fucking. But they got there, they tried to save him. Nothing they could do. Ragnar makes a last stand, comes out swinging after he kills his wife and his father. He comes out swinging and tells his dad, you know what, take her to Valhalla. I'll join you soon. And it was just such a deep cut. When I was watching this part, I was so torn up. I was like, damn, savage. He had to kill his wife and his dad, and then he's going out swinging, coming and attacking these sons of bitches, going all fucking gangster on it. It was cool, guys. I really, really enjoyed this scene, even though we lost Ragnar, which we were starting to like. He was a good guy. So douchey Sven is back, and he picks up Tyra and takes him with him. So fuck that guy. Fuck this. Oh, I hate him. I want to cut his balls off and feed him to his dad. So Utrid and Brita, after everyone's gone, sneak onto the property and go through the ashes and try to find Ragnar's stash. They end up finding it and digging it out, and they decide they're going to use what they need to, but they're going to save it for young Ragnar. They knew exactly where it was, and it was at a great fucking hiding place too. They would have never found that shit. So as Utrid and Brita approach Bebbanburg, you see Utrid just rolling up to Bebbanburg wearing the same cloak that Ragnar did. And I don't understand how that shit didn't burn up. It is like fucking poof. It should have gone up quick. But whatever. It didn't catch fire in the burning hut. And so he rolls up wearing this gangster big ass cloak, looking like Ragnar with the hood down. And he tosses Big Daddy Douche's fucking little informant's head to him. And his uncle just looks over and sees the head. Utrid pulls his shit back and just makes his big old fucking, I'm here, motherfucker. I'm not dead. I'm the fucking rightful king of Bebbanburg. And it was a great scene. It was just so reminiscent of just at the beginning where we got to see Ragnar do the exact same thing with Utrid 2.0. I don't know, the older brother Utrid that only lasted like 3.5 minutes. Yeah, good job, Utrid. It's time for the new Utrid to take over. So, guys, this episode was phenomenal. Start to finish, it was a lot of fun. We really got to learn about these characters, get to see Utrid transition to an adult was really cool, and then get to see his interactions with the family before they were killed. Just seeing Ragnar go out like he did just still gets me going. Like, I really enjoyed that scene, just getting to see him have to do the hardest thing in the world and take his dad and his wife out and tell his dad to carry her to Valhalla. He'll be there soon. I choked up right there, guys. I'm not gonna lie, it was a great moment. So, guys, let me know what you guys thought about this episode down in the comments down below. I hope you guys did like this. We're going to continue this series and knock it all out hopefully before season 5 comes out. So, if you guys haven't checked it out, this is on Netflix. It's a great show, The Last Kingdom, guys. So let me know what you guys thought about this episode down in the comments, but down below. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel so you can keep up with all the videos we put out every week. We're going to be continuing this, Game of Thrones, and hopefully some more shows in the future. Let me know what you guys thought about this in the comments below, and I will see you next time right here on Nerds Mirage for another video. All right, guys. Peace out.